So I'm going to let this slide pretty much speak for itself. It has to do with the race and ethnicity. It's mostly made up of white people, 81% white. So there's a lot on this slide about socioeconomic status, but what I really want to highlight is that the median household income in Glendale is quite high compared to the median income level across the United States and also in Ohio. The poverty level is at 4.1%, whereas the poverty level across the United States is about 15 or 16%. Also, if you look closely at the average number of people that are living in the households, there's usually only 1, 2, or 3 people living in the house. So these are small households with a fairly large income. This slide talks about occupancy and home value. What I want to highlight is that 94% of the homes are occupied. That's high. And the median home value is $277,000. And I also wanted to know how many of these houses are actually paid for outright, and it's about 1/3 of them. The education level in Glendale is quite high, and I think it's safe to say that the education level is correlated to the high median income level. There are a few options for elementary school in Glendale. There's Glendale Elementary School, which is public, Bethany School, which is an Anglican school, St. Gabriel Consolidated, which is Catholic, and St. Rita School for the deaf. So Glendale Elementary School got a B on the Ohio report card for performance, but it's a little deceptive because all of the other grades on the report card were C's and D's. There was maybe one other B, but it's a very mediocre school. For middle school and high school, there's Princeton Middle School, which is public, Princeton High School, which is also public, Bethany School and St. Gabriel go up through 8th grade. That's a picture of Bethany School. So in terms of school enrollment, St. Gabriel has the highest enrollment for elementary school, and you'll see a big jump between the enrollment in middle school and high school at the Princeton Public, because there are no more options after you finish junior high school. Then it's public, or you've got to drive your kids across town. There's a lot of health care nearby Glendale, but the providers that are closest are for elderly people. There are 2 nursing homes and 5 home health care centers less than 2 miles away. And Gehrig Pharmacy is actually in Glendale itself, but that's the only health provider, so to speak, in Glendale itself. As for transportation, I learned that 85% of Glendale residents take their car to work, which makes sense because the highways are very close by. 275 is about 2 miles away, and 75, both north and south, is about 1 mile away. Metro Bus 78 serves Glendale, and if you do take the bus, you are most often a female, which I thought was interesting. Glendale has its own water and sewer municipal building. It's on Sharon Road, and for trash, the people use Rumpke. In terms of shopping and dining, there's more than enough shopping nearby. There's Target, Sam's Club, Costco, the Tri-County Mall, and all of these restaurants have asterisks behind them because they're actually in Glendale. And if you haven't been to the grand finale, it's time to go. There are many strengths in Glendale. It's conveniently located to highways. There's low levels of crime. There's a little volunteer library in town. There are so many social clubs. There are 12 gardening clubs, and each of the clubs takes care of a different plot of land throughout town. There's the Lyceum on Congress Avenue, which costs about $900 a year. It has a swimming pool, holiday black tie events, and tennis courts. There are lots of parks and green space throughout Glendale. And this was interesting. You can give your keys to the police department for safekeeping while you're on vacation, and you can call them and ask them to check on your house. Some of the other neighborhoods that we've looked at have terrible police community relationships, but in Glendale, it's, at least so far, it's a very close relationship. Weaknesses for Glendale: it's hard to keep up with the infrastructure because the homes are old, and I think the volunteers at the Glendale Depot just said the infrastructure is getting old, so I'm not sure all of the things that they mean by that. Maybe the water and sewer pipes, I'm not sure, but that's getting weaker. The other thing that I wanted to point out is that there are a lot of policy disagreements in Glendale right now about how to move forward and how much of the world to bring into Glendale and how to preserve its history, but then also keep it alive. I asked about the trajectory of the community, and the man at the volunteer at the depot said he felt like it's definitely a graying community. Those were his words. And there are no known social services. Okay, the crime rate is very low. The most common crime is theft. These are famous people from Glendale. John W. Peck, the federal judge, William Cooper Proctor, grandson of P&G founder, and I included this couple's picture because they were the volunteers at the museum center, and interestingly, they bought the Peck house 1 year ago. These are my references. Thank you for listening, and I hope you had a great day off.